Every December, it's the same story. Surrounded by twinkling lights and festive cheer, we make these grand promises. This Christmas, I'm finally going to slow down. This new year, I'm going to become a completely different person. We tell ourselves we'll read more, work out every day, learn a new skill, and finally get our lives together. But then, the calendar flips to mid-January, and it all comes crashing down. The gym bag gathers dust, the books stay closed, and that new you feels like a distant memory. And we're left wondering why? Why does this happen every single year? Why do you quit every habit you start? And how can you break this cycle for good? Let's start with what I call the holiday illusion. The end of the year is a magical time. The festive energy, the time off work, the sense of hope, it all creates an emotional high. This high tricks your brain into creating an unrealistic picture of future you. You make these ambitious plans in a holiday bubble, surrounded by family, warmth, and optimism. You imagine yourself with endless motivation and free time. But here's the hard truth. Habits aren't built by a festive mindset. They are built and sustained by your real, everyday environment. That holiday feeling is temporary, but the crowded schedule, the overflowing inbox, and the daily stress that return in January, that's permanent. So, the problem isn't you. You don't fail the habit. The habit fails the environment it was designed to live in. It was designed for a fantasy world that only exists for 2 weeks a year. This failure kicks off a destructive psychological cycle, a self-sabotage loop that keeps you stuck. It starts with overcommitment. Fueled by that New Year motivation spike, you don't just set one goal, you set 10. You try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Then comes frustration. Real life resumes. Work is demanding, you're tired, and suddenly, those habits that seemed so easy in December now feel impossible. You miss a day, then another. This leads directly to the shame spiral. You start telling yourself a familiar story. I knew I couldn't do it. I always fail. I'm just not a disciplined person. This reinforces a negative self-identity, making it even harder to succeed in the future. And finally, we have the reset fantasy. You give up, but you tell yourself, it's okay, I'll just restart next Monday, or maybe next month. Or worse, I'll try again next new year. This loop, holiday high, unrealistic planning, inevitable collapse, shame, and the promise of a future reset, is the reason your resolutions never stick. You're trapped in a cycle of your own making. So how do we break free? The answer is something I call the low-resolution habit. It's an approach to building habits that is designed to work even on your absolute worst day, not just your best. The core principle is to make the habit so small, so tiny, that it can survive the stress and chaos of your real life. Instead of aiming to read for 30 minutes every day, your low-resolution habit is to read one page. Instead of go to the gym for an hour, it's put on your workout clothes. That's it. The goal is to make it so easy that you can't say no. Next, you need to build this tiny habit into your existing routines. You don't need to find new time. You need to anchor it to something you already do without thinking. We call these anchors. Tie your new habit to your morning coffee, your commute to work, or your nightly wind down. For example, while your coffee brews, you read that one page. On your way home, you listen to 5 minutes of a language learning podcast. Before you turn off the lights at night, you write down one thing you're grateful for. These predictable moments are the foundation for new behaviors. Crucially, you must drop the identity pressure. Stop trying to become a new person on January 1st. That's a recipe for failure. Treat your habits like systems you are testing and adjusting, not as a reflection of your character or a total life transformation. If the system fails, you just tweak it. It's not a moral failing. Think about the seasons. Let Christmas be a time for reflection, not for frantic planning. Let New Year's be a time for calibration, where you choose one or two tiny things to focus on. And then, let January be the time for quiet, consistent execution. Imagine your habit not as a firework that explodes on New Year's Eve, but as a small, steady candle that you light in December and that keeps burning, unwavering, through the entire year. To make this practical, let's use a 3-week stabilization window, starting in January. Week 1 is survival mode. Your only goal is consistency, nothing else. Focus on hitting the bare minimum version of your habit every single day. If your goal is to read one page, just do that. Track it. Celebrate the fact that you showed up, even for 60 seconds. You're building the muscle of consistency. Week 2 is the reality check. Now that you've done it for a week, you can see how it fits into your actual life, not the holiday fantasy. Is it creating friction? Is it stressful? Be honest. Maybe reading one page before bed is too much when you're exhausted. So you adjust. Maybe you'll read that page while you eat breakfast instead. This is about removing friction and making it even easier to succeed. Finally, week 3 is the lock-in. Only if the habit feels easy and automatic. You can add one small upgrade. Just one. If read one page is effortless, maybe you try for read 2 pages or read for 5 minutes. The key is to make progress so slow and steady that your brain barely notices the change. This creates a system that isn't fragile. It won't be destroyed by a single stressful day or a busy week. So let's bring it all together. The real new year doesn't start with a bang on January 1st. The real new year begins when you stop recycling old, broken patterns. Christmas offers us hope. New Year's gives us a sense of direction. But the habit you actually keep is the one that's built for your ordinary, messy, beautiful, real days. You don't quit because you're lazy or lack willpower. You quit habits that belong to the fantasy version of you. You will keep the habits that are designed for the real you. Thank you for watching. If this helped, consider subscribing for more ways to build a life you love.